Hi guys, welcome to another round of Young 78 Game Reviews. Alright, I'm going to be taking a quick look at Killzone. We're going to be doing a commentary just regarding the graphics and gameplay 6 months into the game's release. And just talking about some of the key differences between this one and the last, or this game and the last couple of shooters that come out of late. I have not played the one that just came out, which is Wolfenstein. Last week, and I really don't count Watch Dogs to be a shooting game, but I am going to talk about both games from a graphical perspective in comparison to this one right now. Basically what you're looking at is my gameplay through of a few stages through Killzone. I actually pre-recorded this with my voiceovers, but for some reason they didn't sync, so I'm having to re-record my voice. And so I'm just basically talking through some of the elements of this game that I've played, that I did play, and you're seeing that footage right now. You are going to see me die a couple of times. The footage is unedited. That means I haven't done anything to it to make it transition smooth. So that's not really laziness. It's more of a test on my part. With the PlayStation 3, thankfully I'm able to record high definition footage without the use of a DVR unit or a DVR recorder, which is great. I will be able to record, so basically that means I'll be able to record PS4 footage from this day forward. I'm looking to be able to do the same thing with the Wii U. I know that Wii U is currently, or Nintendo's currently making some sort of deal with YouTube, and if that does go through, that means I can actually record my footage of gameplay from the Wii U without having to use an extra device like I can with the PS4. The downside of things obviously is I do not have the capabilities to record PS3 footage, which is kind of not cool because there's a lot of games I got on the PS3 that I would like to be able to record at high definition, and I've just gotten past the point of doing zoom. So for now on, I'll be doing current gen games only. That does sound, that does suck because there's a few games I will be skipping over that I did intend originally to get to. So that will be a bit of an issue. But other than that, I'm back. I am now doing videos consistently. I'll be doing about a video a week. I'll try to do a video a week. At the most, one video every 2 weeks. The main reason for my hiatus for the past year, in terms of video commentaries and video reviews, has mainly been school. I haven't had the time to do the videos. Now I do. So that's why I am officially back, guys. I am done with school, and here I am. Young 78 is back in action. I will be changing my name to my website, or my YouTube website, fairly soon. I haven't decided on a final name yet, but Young 78 will be changing to a different name in the not too distant future. So for my subscribers out there, just be prepared for that. I will be doing reviews and commentaries in the future with future releases. In terms of reviews, it takes a bit more time than normal to do a review, so that will usually be one review, I'm going to say once a week to once every 2 weeks, depending on the game that I review. Commentaries will come a bit more often. I'm going to try and do at least 2 to 3 commentaries a week, so just letting you guys know that I am on the ball. Now, I'm looking at this game. You guys can see my gameplay through of it. I want to focus mainly on the graphics and the gameplay. And we're going to be talking about graphics in comparison to some of the other shooters that have already come out on current gen and last gen consoles, and also two of the games that just came out. One of them I mentioned before, two of them I mentioned before, which was Wolfenstein and Watch Dogs. In terms of graphics, I still personally think that Killzone Shadowfall is the king of all games when it comes to current gen presentations. I know that 2 other games come close to matching it, but I just don't feel they quite have reached that level yet. And the first game on that list is actually an Xbox One game, which I haven't had the personal time to play, but I've seen so much footage on it, I think I'm able to give a fair judgment of the graphics, and that's Rise. Rise is a beautiful game. I watched the game quite a bit. Now I do know the game runs at 30 frames per second, and it's a lower resolution. I think it's at 720p. I could be wrong in that resolution, so please correct me if I am wrong. But just from a visual perspective, that game looks beautiful. Again, it doesn't look as good as Killzone Shadowfall, but again, it does look beautiful. So I will give props to that game, to at least meeting Killzone Shadowfall on its it's on its own turf in terms of graphics. And the other game I want to refer to is one that just came out a few months ago, and that's I think it's called Infamous Second Son. Now that game is phenomenal in terms of graphics and presentation and everything else. But there's just a few things, in my personal opinion, holding it back from that top spot. So, you know, my personal opinion, Killzone still takes the cake when it comes to graphics. Now, some of the games that have been shown recently, and one of them just came out, is Watch Dogs and what was it, Wolfenstein. Those two games, while they look good, they don't look next gen. And I really think the main reason for that is because the past gen or last gen is holding those two games back. Both games are multi-platform, so you know, development time, you know, the developers had to focus a lot of time on every single console, not to mention the PS4 and Xbox One version, but also the PS3 and 360 version. So development time took a lot longer than they anticipated. While I've seen the difference between next name of that game, I keep forgetting the name of it, Wolfenstein for the 360 and PS3, 360 and PS1, Xbox One. The difference is minimal. It's not that big, and you know, you can definitely tell it's still last gen architecture with smoothed out graphics, smoothed out textures on current gen consoles, and that to me is still a bit of an issue. Looking at not Shadow Dogs, but Sleeping Dogs. Ooh, I said the wrong name. I meant Watch Dogs. Again, that's also suffering the same thing as Wolfenstein. While it looks like some areas do look next gen, for the most part, the game does look current gen. Now, I've seen Watch Dogs run on the PS3, and I've seen it on the PS4 and Xbox One, and I can definitely tell you that it does look better on the PS4 and Xbox One, obviously, but it's not like a giant drastic difference. The architecture is still the same. The main difference is in the, you know, the foliage, special effects such as rain, fog, mist, obviously the textures that are much higher resolution, but the game itself still looks like last gen. Now, if I was to compare Watch Dogs directly to, say, Infamous Second Son looks way better than Watch Dogs. I know a lot of you guys who are enjoying Watch Dogs may disagree with that analysis, but you know, I compel you to take both games, put them side by side, go to similar areas, daytime and nighttime, and you'll see the difference right away. You know, and that's why I want to come back to Killzone real quick. This game is still, you know, it's one of the first games to release on the PS4, and it's still one of the best looking games, period. I get a few games come close to its fidelity, but not many. Now, one game coming out not too long from now, I think it's going to be towards the end of this year, is, I'm trying to think of the name at the top of my head right now, Alien Isolation. Now, that game looks on par with this game in terms of texture, in terms of just overall appearance and fidelity, and I'm looking forward to actually getting a chance to play that game. Now, I do know that Alien Isolation is going to be running multi-plat, but I'm hoping they take the time to put special attention towards the next-gen versions of the game and not let the current gens or the last gens. I keep saying next-gen, so you have to excuse me, but I'm referring to current gen. But I'm hoping that, you know, Alien Isolation, in terms of graphics, is not held back by the last-gen consoles, and that's one of my biggest fears, because from what I've seen of the game so far, it looks just as good as Killzone in terms of lighting, special effects, textures, the overall realism of the game. You know, that's the big thing. So I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. I think 2014 for PS4 games is a very stale year. There's not too many games coming out that I'm personally interested in, with the exception of a game coming out later this year, which I can't think of the name right now, but it's a third-person shooter from the same studio that did, I think, God of War, 1886, The Order, I think that's what it's called. So that's the one I'm really looking forward to for the PS4, but there's not too much other than that, so I'm hoping that E3 introduces some new titles. But let's focus on gameplay with Killzone for just a minute. Now, a lot of people, now I'm going to focus strictly on the campaign mode, not the multiplayer, so don't mistake what I'm talking about for the multiplayer mode. And I'm going to do a comparison to other first-person shooters, with the exception of Wolfenstein, because I haven't played through that personally myself, so I can't compare that game. But we're going to talk, you know, about Call of Duty, for example. Call of Duty, Black Ops, Ghost, Battlefield 4. Those are the big ones that have come out, you know, before, obviously around the same time as before this title. And each of those games has its perk, but this one still is still the best. A lot of people didn't like the game, and I can see why. The pacing is a bit off, and you know, some parts can be a bit confusing in this game. But overall, the shooting mechanics are solid. It's a thinking game. You can't just run and gun in this game like you can in, say, Call of Duty, or in Black Ops, or in Black Ops, Call of Duty, or in Ghost. And I'm gonna just talk real quick about Ghost and Black Ops. I bought Ghost, beat it in a couple days, and man, that game was so disappointing. I am not a big Call of Duty fan. I do enjoy Black Ops, but I haven't played Black Ops on PS3. I actually played it on the Wii U, where you can use the motion controls, and I like playing shooting games in that way. But you know, specifically looking at gameplay, graphics, stuff like that, Black Ops 2 is not. It's obviously not going to be as good as say Killzone, but for some reason it looks better than Ghost. That surprised me a lot. Ghost is a fairly new game. Check this out. Actually, you're looking at one of the main reasons I love this game so much. He's doing a Halo drop in space, and this is so badass. You know, I'm getting distracted. I'll get back to it in a minute, but this is one of my favorite scenes in video games. Period. I mean, you're literally jumping through the sky, or jumping through space, trying to make your way to the ground. You're working your way through clouds of ash, and eventually, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but falling buildings and structures, which I think is so cool. You know, I only died twice in this scene. I was expecting to die a bit more. You're going to see it when it comes up, but to me, this type of atmosphere has not been matched yet with any shooter currently on the market. And I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree with that, but this is personally one of my favorite shooting games, and this is one of my favorite scenes in a shooting game. Now, going to Battlefield's campaign, a lot of people refer to Battlefield's campaign as a joke, and you know, it shouldn't have been there. And me personally, I thought Battlefield's campaign was okay. Story element didn't make too much sense. I mean, it made sense. It was very straightforward, but I didn't really pay attention enough to care, and I guess that's a bit of an issue. This game I actually did care about. Killzone, I actually did care about the character developments, and while I will say the story in Killzone Shadow Falls is not as strong as the first two games, it does get you into it from the get-go. My only gripe with the game from a story perspective was the main characters from the first two games, or from the third one and the second one and the third one, do not make a comeback. And you know, I can see that. I can see why. It's, you know, X amount of years in the future. They're probably grizzly old men by now, and you know, dead. So, but you know, maybe not dead, but old politicians, whatever. But I feel that they should have made some type of transition into this game, but they didn't. I know that Stahl does make a Johann Stahl does make a appearance in this game, and obviously he's a decrepit old man at the time of his appearance, which is still fine. But anyway, you know, going back to the scene, this is really badass. But okay, back on topic. So what I was talking about before was basically just, you know, the gameplay. From a gameplay perspective, this game tops the cake in terms of everything. You know, with the current shooters available. Now again, I'm not comparing this to the current Wolfenstein. I haven't played it yet, so I will be buying that game when the time comes. Finances are a bit tight, so when I do get my hands on the game, I can give a better comparison between this one and that one. But as it stands, between the games I've played, the shooters I've played, and this one is still number one. Anyway guys, I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions. This video is a bit rushed. It's an unscripted video. It's unedited. Let me know what you guys think of this game yourselves 6 months down the road compared to other shooters on the market. And let me know what you think of the overall approach I'm using now. You can rate, comment, and subscribe, please. That would be great. Peace out. This is Young 7yang saying goodbye and see you guys soon. And yes, I will be changing the name fairly soon. Bye.
Watch your footing. Ground's unstable.
I've never seen